So now in the previous video, what we learned is that this a is the base and m is the exponent, and then a is also a base and m is a exponent. So now what the law says is that if the bases are the same and the middle sign is multiplication, and then we will add the exponents. So that is why here we have a to the power of m plus n. That's the law which says same base multiply and then add exponent. That's what the law says. So now let's take an example. We're going to take two examples. So let's look at the first one. Suppose we have x to the power of n multiplied by x to the power of 2. The first thing that we will check is the bases. Remember the base. So this is our first base and that's our second base. So what do we say? The bases are the same. Now let's check if the middle sign is multiply. Indeed, the middle sign is multiply. So now we have the second case. Then what did the law say? We add the exponents. So what are your exponents? It's n and 2. So now we will take one base and then add the exponent. So the exponent is n plus 2. This become your answer. Applying the law. I think you need to follow these points, 3 points. So now if the bases are the same, you tick. If the middle sign is multiply, you tick E. And then finally, you will add the exponent, but making sure that you take one base. Let's look at the second example. Suppose you have 2 to the power of 4 multiplied by 2 to the power of 3. Remember the first thing that we check. Let's look at the base. Base 2, base there 2. So we have the first mark, and then we check, is the middle sign multiply? Yes, it's multiply, so it's a mark. And then what do you do with the exponents? You add the exponents, but taking into consideration that you take one base. So it's going to be 2 to the power of 4 plus 3, and that will give us 2 to the power of 7. Then we applied the law. So now let's look at the second one. The first one and the second one, they are somewhat similar. Let's look at this one. We have a to the power of m divided by a to the power of n equal a to the power of m minus n. So now the same case. Are the bases the same? Yes. What is the middle sign? Division. What do you do with the exponents? You subtract them. So now we can create the same thing as when the middle sign is multiply. We check for same base, and then what do we check for? We check for division. And then what do we do with the exponent? You subtract exponent. But don't forget, you take one exponent. So now let's take an example. You see here on or, it's a to the power of m divided by a to the power of n. Remember that this division and that one, they are equivalent. So now let's look at the first example that we can make so that you can understand these things better. So let's look at 2 to the power of 3 divided by 2 to the power of 2. Let's see these ones. Remember, we're going to tick. Look at the bases. Are the bases the same? Yes, you tick. What is the middle sign? Division. Yes, you tick. What do you do with the exponents? You subtract them. Remember, you take 1. Okay, I made a mistake here. You take 1 base. So it's going to be 2 to the power of 3 minus 2. Why are we using minus? Because the middle sign is multiplication. So now you can punch in your calculator what is 3 minus 2, or you can use your head. 3 minus 2, it's 1. Even if you don't write that one, your final answer